Have you ever wondered what really goes on behind the closed doors of a food factory? Have you ever stopped to think about what's inside a product that is present in practically every refrigerator in the world? What you are about to discover may change the way you see sausage forever. Today, we're going to delve into a process that is hidden from most people's eyes. Something that, although commonplace, hides details that many would rather not know. You may think you already know what it is. But the truth is that the history of sausage begins long before it reaches the supermarket, and goes through stages that will surprise or even shock you. Every year, 10 million tons of this product are consumed worldwide, an astonishing number. But do we really know what we are consuming? In the United States, sausage is almost a cultural symbol. In China, its consumption explodes in urban markets. And in Brazil, its smell, taste, and convenience make it a constant presence in fast meals, parties, and even in school lunchboxes. But what lies behind this apparent simplicity? In this video, we will delve into the depths of a complex industrial system, guided by high-precision machines, powerful mixers, and never-stop conveyor belts. A world of steel, steam, ground meat, and secrets. Get ready to learn about each step, each component, each decision that transforms pieces of raw meat into a standardized, packaged, and ready-to-eat product. But be careful. What you will see next is not a staged scene. It is not a science fiction film. It is the reality of the modern food industry. Are you ready to discover how sausages are made? Are you prepared to face what lies behind what until now seemed like just another ingredient in your hot dog? Maybe, by the end of this video, you will never look at a sausage the same way again. If you are curious about what goes on behind the scenes in the food industry and want to truly understand how the food we eat every day is made, subscribe to our channel now. Here, we reveal industrial processes with a detailed and unfiltered view, bringing valuable information that is often overlooked. By subscribing, you guarantee access to exclusive content about the world of food production, revealing how food is transformed from the field to your table, with every detail meticulously analyzed. Don't miss any more revelations. Click subscribe and activate the bell to be notified whenever new videos that reveal the secrets of the food industry are aired. Because when you understand the process, the way you view what you consume will never be the same again. Now imagine, the origin of sausages dates back to ancient times, when the oldest civilizations, such as the Sumerians, were already developing rudimentary forms of this food product. These first records of meat sausages can be considered the beginnings of what would later become the modern sausage. Sausage production was also widely practiced by the Greeks and Romans, who had their own versions of processed, salted, and dried meats, which resembled today's sausages. However, it was in Germany, at the end of the 17th century, that the closest version of the sausage we know today emerged. During this period, the idea of grinding meat, seasoning it with spices, and stuffing it into animal casings began to gain popularity. This process not only became a common practice in Germany, but also spread to other European countries, with different regional variations, and ended up becoming a food consumed in various parts of the world. Over time, sausages have diversified considerably. Today we can find this product in different forms and preparations, such as hot dogs, cooked dishes, grilled, or even fried. The versatility of sausages has made them a globally appreciated food, consumed in millions of homes in different forms and combinations, whether at parties, quick snacks, or even in more elaborate meals. However, sausages are not a food that is immune to controversy. Although they are an essential part of the popular hot dog, they have a questionable reputation regarding their quality. Many associate sausages with excess saturated fat, ingredients of dubious quality, and the use of chemical additives that can be harmful to health when consumed in excess. In fact, some sausages can contain up to 30% saturated fat, which calls into question their classification as a healthy food. However, it is crucial to avoid generalizations. There are varieties of sausages that are made with more care and with better quality ingredients. For example, Vienna and Frankfurt sausages are made with high-quality meat, with selected pieces of beef and pork, without the addition of mechanically separated meat, which makes them purer and less processed options. These sausages are also seasoned in a more elaborate way, which makes them even tastier. However, the scenario is not the same for the most common sausages, especially those consumed in Brazil, which may not have the same quality as the Vienna and Frankfurt versions. Often, these popular sausages contain a mixture of chemicals, mechanically separated meat, and other substances that make the final product much more processed and less healthy. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, mechanically separated meat is a type of meat obtained from bones, carcasses, or parts of these carcasses. This process is carried out using specialized equipment that separates the meat from inedible parts mechanically. The resulting meat is then quickly frozen to preserve its properties using fast or even ultra-fast freezing processes if it is not used immediately. Although the ministry allows this meat to be used in products such as sausages, it is considered to be of lower quality compared to fresh meat. In the case of industrial sausages, such as those available on a large scale in supermarkets, mechanically separated meat is one of the main sources of protein, which directly impacts the quality of the final product. These products are often emulsified and cooked to obtain the typical texture and flavor, but this can result in a final product that contains less quality meat and more processed ingredients. Therefore, when consuming a sausage, it is essential to understand the manufacturing process and the variations in quality between the different types of sausages available on the market. Overall, the modern sausage is a creation of impressive complexity, but also of concerns about the quality of its ingredients, which need to be observed more closely in order to make a healthier and more informed choice. The sausage-making process begins with a careful selection of the raw material, which can come from beef, pork, chicken, or turkey, depending on the type of sausage to be produced. The quality of the meat is crucial in this process, as it directly influences the flavor, texture, and safety of the final product. Before being accepted into the factories, the meat undergoes rigorous health and quality controls to ensure that only meat in good condition is used. However, what many people don't know is that the meat used in sausage production is not limited to prime cuts. Slaughter byproducts, such as muscle trimmings, fatty tissue, head and foot meat, skin, blood, liver, and other edible slaughter products, are also used in the composition of sausages. These ingredients, often considered to be of low quality, are essential for the production of a more affordable and standardized sausage. After the meat has been selected, it undergoes a necessary pre-cooking process to eliminate possible bacterial contamination. This is essential since meat scraps and byproducts from slaughter can contain high levels of bacteria, and pre-cooking helps ensure that the final product is safe for consumption. After this, the meat is ground in specific machines, which grind it until it reaches the desired degree of granulometry. The size of the meat particles determines the final texture of the sausage, which can vary from a finer texture to a more robust one. This grinding process is essential to define how the sausage will present itself to the consumer, whether with more visible pieces of meat or a more homogeneous mixture. Once the meat is ready, it is time to add seasonings. Salt, spices, and other condiments are incorporated into the ground meat to ensure the sausage's characteristic flavor. Each type of sausage has its own seasoning recipe, and the amount of each ingredient is carefully measured to ensure consistency and flavor. In addition to natural seasonings, chemical additives are also introduced to extend the shelf life of the product and improve its sensory characteristics. Preservatives such as nitrites and nitrates are essential to ensure preservation and maintain the characteristic reddish color of the meat, although caution should be exercised when using them due to potential health risks. Another common additive is antioxidants, such as ascorbic acid, which prevents the meat from going rancid, keeping it fresh for longer. Stabilizers and emulsifiers are used to ensure that the sausage maintains its texture and moisture over time, preventing the product from becoming dry or losing its consistency. These emulsifiers help to bind fat and water, creating a smooth and homogeneous texture. In addition, flavor enhancers, such as monosodium glutamate, MSG, are often added to intensify desired flavors, giving the sausage a deeper, more distinctive taste. Each of these steps, from selecting the meat to adding seasonings and additives, is carefully controlled to ensure that the final product is not only safe and tasty, but also efficient in terms of mass production, meeting market demands and consumer preferences. The industrial sausage process is a true combination of ancient techniques and modern technologies which, when well executed, result in a food that is highly appreciated and consumed around the world. The emulsification process begins immediately after the meat is ground and seasoned. At this stage, the meat is mixed with ice or cold water, creating an emulsion that results in a smooth, uniform texture, characteristic of sausages. The use of ice or cold water is essential, as it not only facilitates mixing, but also helps maintain a controlled temperature, preventing the meat from losing its juiciness. This emulsification process also ensures that the ingredients are integrated evenly, which is essential for the quality and final texture of the product. The mixture